Two is we allowed our mental health, our drug treatment, our homeless systems, and our criminal justice system to fall apart, be poorly managed. Three is, despite being mandated by state law, nobody has a homeless plan. Nobody has a homeless plan. We need a homeless plan. And three, we allow a culture of vices and incompetence and sloth to pervade our culture and our homeless programs. We need to work for a culture of virtue and success rather than enablement. And lastly, we need to make sure that we're accountable in everything we do. We have no accountability in the system. We address those issues, we will solve our homeless problem.
So Mark, just one word here, there's corruption in the system, and that's part of the problem. How are they corrupted and who's corrupt?
Well, there's a thing called the homeless industrial complex, or folks out there who know what the right thing is to do, but they're in denial, obvious denial, that their employees are being mismanaged, being hampered, being deliberately held back from solving the problem. I know these politicians and leaders. They know what needs to be done, but they refuse to admit to you publicly what needs to be done. That's a lack of integrity.
Okay,
that's a lack of honesty.
But why won't they?
Ideology, fear, spineless, wanting to get elected. They need to talk truth to the real powers in Seattle that's preventing them from implementing the correct programs. We had a working homeless system 10 years ago. It needed adjustment, sure it did, but they allowed it to deteriorate and fall apart deliberately with this new ideology where I think it's coming from the far radical left.
Joyce, let's talk about solutions. I don't think you can separate homelessness and drugs. And I remember seeing some study that said that 40% or 26% or something, some smaller percent, were not only homeless but also had a problem with drug. I can't imagine living in the streets and not medicating myself in some way in order to not feel that pain. Do you think that there's a direct correlation between, do you have a job, do you exist in society, and then somehow you find yourself on this road to nowhere? As you get addicted to drugs, you then lose friends, lose family, lose jobs, lose home, and then you're on the street. Is that the normal cause?
No,
Of course?
I don't believe that at all. I believe that the majority of people out there, I have to really give a statement that I'm not an expert on mental health, but I am an expert on chemical dependency. And what I know is that people don't start using because they find themselves hopeless. I mean, maybe there's an occasional one, but the majority are there because they have addiction. And when you have addiction, things start to erode, and you end up losing your job, losing your relationships. You end up, poor, and you can't sustain it. And so it's not that you're now using the drugs to numb out, but you've been using drugs. That's how you got there in the first place. Okay. And I think we have to stop calling it homelessness. I think we have to address it as addiction.
Yeah.
Let's say we did change the word from homeless to addiction. What do you think would then happen with the political winds?
Well, I think, first of all, we have to look at the whole system now. I'm not working out there in the city. What I'm doing is I'm working with families and I do interventions. Families come to me because they're feeling powerless. They're not sure what to do with their loved one. They've tried everything. They've given money. If they need a car, they get a car so they can get a job. And they're doing all these things. They're overperforming and their loved one is underperforming. So they come to me and say, we've tried everything. We don't know what to do. And so my real motivation is with the family, is to talk to them about, okay, what is help and what is enabling? That in their endeavor to help, they have unwittingly become a part of the problem. And so we devise a plan, if you will, to intervene on that person, to do it in a kind, loving, respectful way, to share with them how their behaviors impacted them, and that basically drawing those boundaries. I'm going to support you getting well. I'm going to support you all the way. But I'm not going to support your illness any longer because it's hurting the rest of us. Okay, so that's what I do. But now that's a microcosm. So looking at the greater city, the city has become, not all the city, but those who are advocating for giving more and more and more money and more services to people people that are not taking any responsibility is called enabling. And so the city has become the sick alcoholic family. We're talking about systems now. And so until people can start to see that providing more money or providing more services is only really in the long run hurting the person who's got the problem in the first place. So, I've got some ideas that I think are pretty great about a solution. We're not even a solution yet, but that's what I think has to happen, is that those who are offering all these services and asking for more money to provide more services, I don't believe that that's the answer. They need treatment. They need treatment, and they need comprehensive, long-term treatment, not a, going to an outpatient for a couple of hours here and a couple of hours there. I mean, people really need to be looking at going into a therapeutic community, and we have therapeutic communities that are here, that are in other parts of the country, so there are models to use. But the people that are on the street that are, on meth, and when they talk about harm reduction, and I'm not an advocate of harm reduction. To me, that is, you're smoking meth and you're shooting it, you're using a needle now, and that can harm you. So they now are providing
Needles and syringes.
Narcan. We provide Narcan to save lives.
No,
That's what we provide.
Okay.
They're
Okay, great. Thank you.
This is harm reduction. So now they're giving them pipes so that they won't harm themselves. What they need is treatment to get off of the meth. Okay?
Then come out and offer treatment while we're out there saving lives.
You're not on the panel.
Great. You'll have a chance. You can talk to Joyce afterwards too, and I'm sure she would love to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, I'll talk to anybody about this. I mean,
There you go.
I've been doing this for 39 years, and I know what happens to people that get into. Excuse me.
Okay.
I know what happens to people that get into recovery and how they become contributing members back to the society. But more importantly, they start to get some self-esteem. You're not going to give anybody self-esteem by giving them more services and more whatever. They need treatment. They need to get well. It's not their fault that they've gotten ill, but it is their problem. And we need to support the wellness, not the illness.
Officer, you might not be able to answer this, but here's what people, I think maybe here would say, that the politicians have tied the hands of the police officers. They told them, don't engage with homeless people. Don't go up to them, don't bother them, don't move them, don't in any way tell them that they have to move on. Just look the other way.
I think if we drive around, we all can see what's happening. That's why we're here. And it is indeed true that the political willpower to enforce the current laws that are on the books to hold people accountable, regardless of their addiction. This is where I come in, as the public safety issue is existing laws that can hold people accountable. We are the public safety arm of the city. And we arrest people for crimes that are on the books. Well, those crimes are not being leveraged by the court system. And that is because of the elected officials, whether it's at the municipal level, the city attorney, or at the county level, the prosecuting attorney of King County. Those laws are not being enforced. So it's led to a retention and recruitment catastrophic issue with this city, where officers do not feel empowered, much like myself, when we see firsthand evidence of this issue, regardless of the passion, regardless of the emotion, remove it and see how it's impacting every one of us. I can tell you on a firsthand basis when I go out to these encampments based upon my current job as a full-time officer with the City of Seattle, police officer. When I'm told to go into these encampments to arrest a felonious homicide suspect, and I am not exaggerating, you can PDR my body cam footage if you want, that I can't step a square foot without seeing an orange needle cap or a needle sticking out of the ground and embedded in the mud, and the amount of refuse and human waste and the size of the rats is astronomical, and that's not an exaggeration. I've had to wear my body face mask, my air purifying respirator, because I could not deal with the stench, even though I was in an open air situation. It is that apoplectic, it's that real, and if we don't have the political willpower to enforce the current criminal laws, then we're in a lot of trouble, and this is only going to get worse. But I can tell you that there's a bit of a reprieve, and we'll see how long this lasts. Based upon community pushback and common sense, that since June 1st of this year, they're finally allowing the navigation team, community police team, and the bike teams to enforce 2 laws that are on the books. One of them deals with the Seattle Department of Transportation street use permit guidelines. So if you have an encampment, anybody that has a tent on the sidewalk that is in violation of a public area, violation of not having a street use permit, the people that have their tent set up are going to give a warning. And then they could be subject to a $500 fine, and past that, they could be arrested for obstruction. This is since June 1st that this has been allowed.
Officer, but people will say you can't arrest your way out of it. You guys just simply don't have enough jail space.
Well, I can only tell you what I bring to the table is to enforce crime. Am I a social worker? To an extent, yes. I mean, we are the brokers, if you will, to the services that we provide. The navigation team does a great job. But I tell you, the management of the Human Services Department within the City of Seattle, who have field coordinators that go direct the officers to these encampments or to that complaint that somebody has in the community, whether it's a private resident or whether it's a business owner. The navigation team, the CPT, or the bike team cannot just go and enforce that statute. They have to be directed by the field coordinator based upon feedback from citizens like yourself who have complained. And you can actually go on the online portal, Find It, Fix It app that the city has. Literally, that's what I've been told. And I'm direct knowledge from the navigation team that this is how this is done. The regular patrol officer does not have that authority to enforce those laws that I just talked about. It's all still managed by the City of Seattle. So that's the compassion side of things. But that's the only thing I can bring here. We can be that broker between the services that are much needed, but there also has to be that criminal accountability piece of this that is being drastically misrepresented. And we have to have the compassion and the political willpower to make sure that that is followed up on. And that's not a harsh thing to say. That's a reality that is a major component to this in order to solve this problem.
Chad McKay from Third Door Coalition and also a business owner. Your father, who started El Gaucho, when he comes back to town, I know he lives over in Eastern Washington,